Let us begin our journey tonight in a place of quiet observation. There is no need to travel far, no need to even leave the comfort of your own mind. We will simply find a comfortable place, perhaps a quiet chair by a window, or a peaceful seat on a porch, and we will watch the ending of a day. For in this slow, graceful, and inevitable fading, we can find the first key to understanding one of the most fundamental rhythms of our existence. The afternoon has been long and full. The sun, which stood high and brilliant in the sky for many hours, is now beginning its descent. The light is changing. It is no longer the bright, direct, and energetic light of midday. It has become soft, warm, and slanted. This is the golden hour, a time beloved by painters and poets, a time when the world seems to be dipped in liquid honey. The light filters through the leaves of the trees, making them glow from within. It streams across the grass, turning each blade into a line of pale gold. It catches the dust motes dancing in the air and transforms them into a swirling cloud of tiny, luminous diamonds. The shadows, which were short and sharp at noon, are now stretching, growing long and soft, like deep blue rivers flowing from the base of every tree and every building, reaching out across the landscape. There is a gentleness to this light, a warmth that is not searing but deeply comforting. It is a light that seems to carry with it a sense of nostalgia, a quiet understanding that this part of the day, this beautiful golden moment, is fleeting. And in that understanding, there is a quiet invitation to simply be present, to watch, to feel. As we continue our silent vigil, the gold begins to deepen. The honey-colored light begins to blush with warmer tones. The sun, now touching the horizon, is no longer a brilliant white disk, but a great, soft, orange orb. The sky around it begins to catch fire, but it is a cool fire, a fire of color, not of heat. Streaks of apricot and soft tangerine begin to appear, painted on the canvas of the blue sky. And if there are clouds, they become the stars of the show. The undersides of the clouds, which were white or gray all day, now become the recipients of this final, glorious offering of color. They are painted in shades of deep rose and soft, glowing pink, as if they are blushing at the beauty of the day's end. The world, for a few brief, breathtaking moments, is a masterpiece of warm, gentle, and ethereal color. And as we watch the colors, we can feel the air itself begin to change. The warmth that has been held in the earth and the pavement all day begins to be released. A coolness starts to rise from the grass, a gentle sigh of relief from the ground. It is not a sudden chill, but a slow, gradual cooling that feels clean and refreshing against the skin. It is the first hint of the night's approach, a gentle transition from the energy of the day to the calm of the evening. The soundscape of the world is changing. 2. The busy, active sounds of the daytime begin to fade. The distant hum of traffic seems to soften. The sounds of children playing in the street grow quiet as they are called indoors. The energetic chatter of the daytime birds is replaced by the occasional, more contemplative call of a bird settling in for the night. And into the spaces between these fading sounds, a new sound begins to emerge, the first, tentative chirping of a cricket, the gentle, rhythmic hum of the approaching night. The world is growing quieter. It is hushing itself, preparing for rest. Now, the sun itself has dipped below the horizon. Its direct light is gone, but it has not left us in darkness. It has left behind an afterglow, a final generous gift of light that is reflected off the upper atmosphere. The brilliant oranges and pinks begin to soften and deepen into more contemplative hues. The sky becomes a gradient of lavender, of lilac, of a deep velvety indigo at its highest point. The world is bathed in twilight, a soft, magical, and deeply peaceful light. In this twilight, the world loses its sharp edges. The long shadows have now melted into a general, soft darkness. You can no longer see the distinct details on a distant tree, only its dark, gentle silhouette against the fading colors of the sky. Everything becomes softer, simpler, less defined. It is as if the world is letting go of the need to be sharp and clear and is allowing itself to become a beautiful, impressionistic painting. This slow, graceful fading is a kind of surrender, but it is not a sad surrender. It is not a defeat. It is a necessary and beautiful release. The day has given all of its energy, all of its light, and now its work is done. It can let go. It can allow the quiet and the dark to come and take its place. It is the great collective exhale of the world, and we, as witnesses to this, can join in that exhale. We can let our own breath be as slow and as gentle as the fading light. We can let the muscles in our body soften, just as the edges of the world are softening in the twilight. We can let the busy, sharp thoughts of our day begin to lose their definition, to merge into a more quiet and peaceful state of mind. This daily spectacle, this slow transition from light to dark, is something so common that we often forget to notice it. But it is one of the most profound and reliable rhythms of our lives. It is a promise that after every period of activity, there will be a time of rest. After every bright, loud, and energetic day, there will be a quiet, soft, and peaceful evening. To sit and watch the day end is a form of meditation. It teaches us the art of letting go. It shows us that there is a grace in endings, a beauty in the process of fading away. The day does not cling to its light. It offers it up, and then releases it with a quiet dignity. As the last vestiges of purple fade from the sky and the first shy star appears as a tiny, perfect pinprick of silver, the transition is nearly complete. The world is now cloaked in the deep, quiet blue of the night. The silence is deeper now, more profound. It is a silence that feels ancient and wise. It is the silence of rest, of dreams, of the world turning its face away from the sun to look, for a time, at the vast starry expanse of the deeper cosmos. Let this feeling of gentle yet gradual surrender be your companion now. The day has been put to bed. The world has quieted down, and you can do the same. You can allow the energy of your day to fade as gracefully as the colors of the sunset. You can allow the noise of your thoughts to be replaced by a more peaceful, inner quiet. You can allow yourself to enter your own personal twilight, a soft, gentle, and safe transition from the world of doing to the world of simply being. This is the first step, the simple, peaceful, and perfect ending of a day. We have rested for a while in the soft, fading light of the twilight, watching the day surrender to the night. Our senses told us a simple and intuitive story, a story of the sun moving across the sky and then sinking like a great, tired ember below the edge of the world. It is a story that humanity has told itself for countless generations, a story that feels true in our bones. And yet, the quiet, poetic truth of our universe is something even more wonderful, more graceful, and more profound. The truth is that the sun does not move, not in the way we perceive it. It does not rise, and it does not set. The grand daily spectacle of day and night is not caused by the journey of the sun, but by the silent, constant, and exquisitely gentle movement of our own planetary home. The Earth is a dancer. Imagine our world, this great blue and white sphere, suspended in the vast, dark ballroom of space. It is performing a single, continuous, and perfect pirouette, a spin so smooth, so unwavering, so perfectly balanced, that we, living on its surface, cannot feel the motion at all. It is a dance of immense, almost incomprehensible scale, and yet one of profound and utter stillness. Let us try to feel the grace of this movement. The Earth is spinning on its axis, a line that runs from the North Pole to the South Pole, and it completes one full, elegant turn every 24 hours. For those living on the equator, this translates to a speed of over 1,000 miles per hour. This sounds impossibly fast, a speed of violence and chaos. But we must remember the sheer size of our dancer. The Earth is so vast, its circumference so immense, that this incredible speed becomes a gentle, yet stately, and imperceptible rotation. Imagine being a tiny, microscopic creature on the surface of a giant. Smoothly spinning carousel at a fair. If the carousel were small and fast, the ride would be dizzying. But because this one is miles wide and takes a full day to make one turn, its motion is transformed into a feeling of perfect, stable calm. You are in motion, but you feel only stillness. You are being carried effortlessly through space and time. This is our experience on Earth. We are all passengers on this great, spinning sphere. We are being carried along on a journey of immense speed. Yet the only way we know we are moving is by looking out the window, as it were, at the stationary objects around us, the sun, the moon, and the stars, and this new perspective changes everything. It reframes the entire story of the day. The sunset, which we witnessed in our last chapter, was not the sun sinking in the west. It was our horizon, the edge of the part of the earth where we are standing. Gently, gracefully, rising up to meet the sun. It was the floor of our great spinning room, tilting upward, carrying us with it, and eventually blocking our view of the light. The darkness of night is not the sun abandoning us. It is simply our home, in its constant, quiet turning, carrying us past the light for a time, and the sunrise. That glorious moment when light returns to the world. That is not the sun climbing into the sky. It is our horizon, our piece of the earth, continuing its graceful spin and rolling back down, away from the sun, thus revealing the great, stationary star that was waiting for us all along. It is a daily, gentle unveiling. It is the slow opening of a curtain made of the curved edge of the entire world. There is a deep and profound sense of safety in this understanding. The motion is not erratic or unpredictable. It is the most reliable rhythm we know. The Earth has been performing this silent, perfect pirouette for more than 4 billion years. It has never faltered, never hesitated. It is a constancy that is written into the very fabric of our solar system. The sun is not in charge of our days. The steady, reliable, and deeply peaceful turning of our own world is. To feel this is to feel profoundly secure. We are not at the mercy of a wandering star. We are being held, safely and securely, on the surface of our home as it performs its ancient, sacred dance. We can let go of the need to control the coming and going of the light, just as a passenger on a great, smooth ocean liner lets go of the need to steer the ship. The ship's course is set. The captain is wise, and we are free to simply rest and trust in the journey. Let the feeling of this gentle, constant motion be a comfort to you now. Feel the bed beneath you not as a stationary object, but as the deck of this great planetary vessel. You are moving right now at an incredible speed, and yet you are held in a state of perfect peace and stillness. The forces at play are so immense, so grand, that they transcend all violence, all chaos, and become a kind of perfect dynamic serenity. This silent spin is the great, foundational rhythm of life on Earth. Everything that lives has adapted to this dance. The flowers that open their petals to the morning sun and close them at night are moving in time with it. The great ocean tides are a complex response to this spin and the moon's gentle pull. And our own bodies, our own deep, internal clocks, are synchronized to this 24-hour pirouette. Our very being is attuned to this music. As you lie here, you can surrender to this motion. There is no effort required. You do not need to push the world along in its spin. You do not need to do anything at all to make the night happen. It is already happening. You are already being carried, gently and safely, into the Earth's own shadow. All that is asked of you is to relax, to let go, and to enjoy the ride. Allow your mind to float on this idea of a silent, graceful, planetary pirouette. It is a motion of such perfect consistency that it has become the way we measure our own days, our own lives. It is the great timepiece of our world, and its rhythm is not a frantic ticking, but a slow, majestic, and deeply reassuring sweep. Let this great, silent, reliable motion be the lullaby that carries you deeper into your own state of rest. You are safe, you are held, and you are and have always been as a part of this great, beautiful, and silent dance. We are resting now in a new and beautiful understanding. We know that the arrival of night is not the sun sinking to its rest, but our own world, our own home, performing a slow and silent pirouette, turning us gently away from the light. We are passengers on a great, spinning vessel, being carried with a grace so perfect that it feels like stillness. And as we accept this constant, effortless motion, a new question may drift into our minds. What is this light that we are turning away from? What is the nature of our silent, cosmic partner in this daily dance? Let us turn our awareness now to the sun. From our earthly perspective, it appears to be an active participant in our days, rising and falling, journeying across our sky. But with our new understanding, we can see it for what it truly is, a great, calm, and constant beacon in the center of our small corner of the universe. Imagine our solar system as a vast, dark, and quiet ocean. And in the very center of this ocean, there is a magnificent, solitary lighthouse. This lighthouse is the sun. Its lamp is never dimmed. Its beam never falters. It does not wander or drift. Its one and only purpose is to shine, to pour out its steady, golden light in all directions, perpetually and without judgment. It is the great, steadfast, and reliable anchor of our entire system. Our Earth, in its silent pirouette, and also in its longer, year-long orbit, is like a small ship sailing on this dark ocean. As we spin, our little vessel turns. For half of each turn, our side of the ship is illuminated by the powerful, life-giving beam of the lighthouse. This is our day. We are bathed in its warmth and its brilliance. And for the other half of the turn, we are on the far side of the ship, looking out into the vast, dark ocean of space. This is our night, but the lighthouse never went out. Its light is still streaming through the darkness, still illuminating the other side of our ship, still touching all the other vessels, the other planets on their own journeys. Our experience of darkness is simply a consequence of our position. We have temporarily turned away from the beam. The light itself is constant. It is eternal. It is always there and waiting for us to complete our turn and sail back into its gentle, welcoming glow. There is a profound sense of safety in this image. The light is not a fickle or unreliable thing. The source of our life and warmth is not something that abandons us each evening. It is a steadfast presence. The darkness is not an invading force, but a temporary orientation. To fall asleep is to trust that our ship is still on its course, that the lighthouse is still shining, and that our turning is a natural and necessary part of the journey. We can also think of it as a great, central campfire on a vast, dark plain. Our Earth is a traveler, walking in a slow, circular path around this fire. When we are on the side of the path facing the fire, we feel its warmth. We see by its light. We can see the faces of our companions. This is our day, but as we continue our steady, circular walk, we round the bend and find ourselves on the far side of the path. Our own body now stands between us and the fire, and we are walking in our own shadow. The fire has not diminished. It still burns as brightly and as warmly as before. We are simply, for a time, looking the other way, out into the cool, dark fields. But we never lose the knowledge that the fire is there. We can still feel its presence. We can still imagine its glow. And we know that soon, our path will bring us back around into its friendly and familiar light. Let us consider the nature of this great, celestial fire. What gives it such constancy? The sun is a star, a sphere of immense heat and pressure. At its very core, a quiet, sustained, and powerful alchemy is taking place. The sun is turning the very stuff of its own being into pure, radiant energy. It is a process of nuclear fusion, a concept that can sound violent, but let us think of it as a state of perfect, sustained grace. The pressures at its heart are so immense, the temperature so high, that the sun has achieved a state of perfect equilibrium, a reaction that has been peacefully sustaining itself for nearly 5 billion years and will continue to do so for billions more. It is a process of such immense longevity and stability that it redefines our understanding of time. The light that warms your face has its origins in a process that is ancient and unwavering. The sun is not a fleeting bonfire, it is an eternal hearth, and the light that pours from it is a constant and generous gift. It flows outward in a great, silent, perpetual river, a river of warmth, of energy, of the potential for life. This river flows whether we are there to receive it or not. It asks for nothing in return. It simply gives. When we turn away into the night, the river does not stop. It continues to flow, bathing the moon and the other planets, journeying on into the deepest reaches of space. Our night is but a brief moment of turning our back to this endless, generous stream. To feel this deep reliability of the sun can be a powerful antidote to the anxieties of our own lives, which can often feel so fragile and uncertain. Our moods change, our plans are disrupted, our world can feel chaotic. But the source of light and life for our entire world is a model of serene, unwavering constancy. It is the most dependable thing we know. So as you lie here, preparing for your own period of turning away from the light, you can do so with a feeling of deep trust. You are not entering a void, you are not being abandoned. You are simply completing a natural and necessary part of a cycle that is defined by its unwavering reliability. You are turning away from the light in order to rest, in full confidence that the light will still be there when you are ready to turn back to it. Let the image of the great cosmic lighthouse be a beacon for your resting mind. Its beam is steady, its position is fixed, its light is a promise. Or hold the image of the great central campfire. Its warmth is constant, its glow is welcoming, and the path around it is predictable and safe. The journey into darkness is not a journey into oblivion. It is simply a walk to the other side of the fire, a temporary visit to the cool, quiet, and starry fields of the night. This great star, our sun, is the anchor of our days. Its constancy is what allows our planet's pirouette to be a meaningful dance of light and shadow. Knowing that the light is never truly gone, but is only waiting patiently for our return, is perhaps the most peaceful and reassuring thought we can hold as we willingly and gracefully surrender to the coming night. We have found a deep and abiding peace in the great, constant lighthouse of our sun. We have let go of the idea of a wandering star and embraced the truth of a steadfast, unwavering beacon whose light is a perpetual gift. And we have understood that our own world is a graceful dancer, performing a silent, endless pirouette that turns us toward and away from this constant light. This understanding brings a sense of profound order and safety to the cosmos. But it also leaves us with a gentle, wondrous question. If the sun is always shining, and our turning is what takes us from the light, then what is this thing we call night? What is the nature of the darkness that we welcome at the end of each day? The answer is perhaps the most intimate and comforting secret of our entire journey. The darkness of night is not an invading force from the depths of space. It is not an entity in and of itself. The darkness of our night is simply the shadow of our own world. Let us explore this soft and simple truth. Imagine yourself standing in a wide, open field on a bright, sunny day. The sun is warm on your face, and if you look down at the ground behind you, you will see your own shadow stretching out across the grass. It is a familiar, personal shape. It is a cool, dark patch on the ground, created by the simple fact that your own body is blocking the light of the sun. This shadow is not a scary thing. It is not a separate being. It is a direct, silent consequence of your own presence in the light. It belongs to you. Now, let us take this simple, familiar idea and expand it to the scale of a planet. Our Earth is a great, solid sphere, nearly 8,000 miles in diameter. And just like your own body, this great sphere also blocks the light of the sun. As the constant river of light streams from our solar system's great lighthouse, it flows past our planet, but it cannot flow through it. And so, on the far side of the Earth, opposite the sun, a great shadow is cast. A vast cone-shaped shadow, tapering to a point hundreds of thousands of miles away in the silent darkness of space. This is the Earth's shadow. It is as real and as present as the planet itself. And it is into this great, familiar shadow that we are carried each and every evening by the slow, silent turning of our world. The sunset, that gentle fading we witnessed, is the moment we arrive at the edge of this shadow, and the night is the time we spend traveling through it. We are not being plunged into a cold, alien void. We are being tucked into the shade of our own home. We are resting in the shadow of our world. There is a feeling of incredible safety and intimacy in this. The darkness is not the unknown. It is the ultimate known. It is the shadow of our own planet. A shadow as familiar to the cosmos as our own shadow is to us. To enter the night is to enter a refuge that the Earth has created for itself. And for us, it is a vast planetary cloak of coolness and quiet, a shelter from the constant brilliant glare of the day. Let us think about the quality of this shadow's edge. Because the sun is not a tiny point of light, but a large, magnificent disk. The edge of the Earth's shadow is not sharp and knife-like. It is soft. It is fuzzy. There is a region around the deep, dark heart of the shadow where the light is only partially blocked. This soft, blurry border is what gives us our twilight. When we experience the sunset, we are not hitting a wall of darkness. We are passing through this gentle transitional zone first. We are moving from the full, bright light into this soft gradient of partial shadow where the colors bloom. And then, finally, we are carried into the deep, full shadow where we can see the stars. This is why the change is always so graceful. The Earth's own nature ensures that our daily transition into darkness is a slow, soft, and gentle fade, never a sudden shock. To lie in your bed at night is to be resting deep inside this planetary shadow. The solid body of the world itself is your shield, your great parasol, protecting you from the direct light of the sun. This perspective can transform our relationship with the night. The darkness is no longer something to be wary of, but something to be grateful for. It is a necessary shelter, a quiet haven that allows our bodies and minds to perform the essential work of rest and restoration. Imagine yourself as a small creature, finding shelter from the hot sun under the cool shade of a large, ancient tree. You feel safe there. You are protected. The shadow of the tree is a gift. The shadow of the earth is a gift of the same kind, but on an immeasurably grander scale. It is a gift that the planet gives to itself and to every living thing that calls it home. We can even feel this on a personal, immediate level. As you lie here in the quiet of your room, you create your own small shadows. You pull the blankets over you, creating a warm, dark, and safe space, a personal refuge from the light and sound of the outside world. This act of pulling up the covers is a small, instinctual echo of the great, planetary act of rolling into the Earth's shadow. We are all, in our own way, seeking the same, sheltering darkness when we prepare for sleep. Let this understanding soothe any lingering fears you may have of the dark. The night is not an emptiness. It is a fullness. It is the full, rich, and silent presence of our own world's shadow. It is a place of profound peace, a place where the senses can rest from the constant stimulation of the day. And within this great shadow, we are not alone. We are accompanied by the gentle, reflected light of the moon and the ancient, distant light of the stars. which we can only truly appreciate when the brilliant light of our own sun is temporarily hidden from view. The shadow does not bring us emptiness, it reveals a different, deeper, and more subtle kind of light. So as you settle more deeply into your rest, feel yourself being held within this great, soft, and familiar shadow. Feel the solid sphere of the earth between you and the sun. It is your protector, it is your shelter, and it's silent. Steady turning is the gentle motion that has carried you into this place of peace. And it is the same motion that will, in its own perfect time, carry you back out into the light. There is nothing to do but to trust in this process, to feel the deep, cozy safety of being at rest, at home, in the quiet, comforting shadow of your own world. We have settled into a place of deep and familiar comfort, resting safely within the great, cool shadow of our own planet. We have let go of the idea of night as an invading darkness and have embraced it as a soft, protective cloak, a familiar refuge that the earth provides for itself and for all the life that it cradles. The brilliant, overwhelming light of our own star, the sun, is temporarily hidden from our view. The world has grown quiet, and in this quiet, a new and even more profound spectacle is revealed. By turning away from the light of our own sun, we are given the opportunity to face the vast, deep, and ancient light of the cosmos. We are given the gift of the stars. As the last purple vestiges of twilight fade from the sky, the transformation begins. It happens not all at once, but with a gentle and patient grace. First, a single brilliant point of light appears, a solitary diamond on the darkening velvet of the sky. Perhaps it is a nearby planet, like Venus or Jupiter, shining with a steady, unwavering light. And then another appears, and then another. As our eyes adjust to the darkness, more and more points of light begin to emerge, pricking through the canopy of the night. It is as if a great dark curtain is slowly being pulled back, revealing a scene of unimaginable and silent splendor. Soon, the sky is filled with them. 1,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000 tiny embers scattered across the immense dark dome above us. Let us not think of them as great, fiery, distant suns, for that is a knowledge of the intellect. Let us, for now, experience them as the poets and the dreamers of old did. They are tiny, perfect pinpricks in the fabric of the night. They are a fine, glowing dust of scattered diamonds. They are the soft, distant glow of 1,000,000 celestial campfires, tended by unseen hands across the vast, dark plains of the universe. Some shine with a steady, white light. Others have a hint of color, a pale blue, a soft yellow, or a faint, ruby red. Some are gathered together in close, friendly families, clusters and constellations that form familiar patterns. The great picture books of the ancient mythologies. We see the great hunter, the queen in her chair, the celestial bear. These patterns have given comfort and guidance to travelers on land and sea for thousands of years. They are a map, a clock, and a calendar, written in a language of silent, steadfast light. And there is a deep, abiding peace in gazing up at this celestial sphere. The silence seems to expand, to become a part of the vast, empty spaces between the stars. The air feels clean and cool. And as we watch, we may begin to contemplate the true nature of the light that is reaching our eyes. And this is where the mind can truly begin to quiet down, to let go of the small urgencies of a single day, and to float in the deep ocean of cosmic time. The light from each of these stars is an ancient traveler. It is a messenger that has journeyed across an ocean of space so vast that our minds can barely comprehend it. The light from the very nearest star to our own sun has been traveling for more than 4 years to reach us. And most of the stars we see are much, much farther away than that. The light from that faint star you see twinkling near the horizon may have begun its journey 100 years ago. The light from another may have left its stellar home 1,000 years ago, when the great cathedrals of Europe were just being built. And the light from the faintest, most distant stars visible to our naked eye may have been traveling for millions of years. It has been flying through the silent, cold void, steadfastly, patiently, on a journey of unimaginable length, all to arrive at this precise moment, to enter your eye, and to deliver its faint, ancient message. To look at the stars, then, is to look into the past. We are not seeing the stars as they are right now. We are seeing them as they were when their light began its long pilgrimage. We are looking at a gallery of ancient photographs. This thought is not a complex or a troubling one. It is a thought of profound and beautiful stillness. It connects us to a timeline that is deep and majestic. It tells us that the universe has a memory, and that its memory is written in light. And on a truly clear night, away from the glow of cities, we can see the grandest spectacle of all, a broad, luminous, milky band of light, stretching like a great smoky river from one horizon to the other. This is our home galaxy, the Milky Way. We are looking into the dense, crowded heart of our own stellar city. The soft, collective glow is not from one star or 1,000, but from billions upon billions of stars, so far away that their individual lights all merge into a single, breathtaking, luminous cloud. To float with this image, to feel yourself as a tiny inhabitant of this great, swirling city of light, can be a deeply peaceful experience. It puts everything into perspective. The worries of a single human life, the anxieties of a single day, can seem so small, so insignificant, when measured against the silent, eternal grandeur of the cosmos. It is not a perspective that makes us feel unimportant, but one that makes our problems feel manageable. It is the deep, calming breath of true scale. Let your mind drift now in this beautiful, dark, and sparkling sea. Let go of the edges of the room you are in. Let go of the feeling of the bed beneath you. And just for a moment, imagine yourself floating safely and peacefully in the great, silent, starry expanse. The light you see is ancient. The silence is absolute. The peace is profound. There is no effort here. There is no struggle. There is only a deep, abiding, and timeless serenity. The stars do not ask for our attention. They do not demand our understanding. They simply shine, offering their ancient light as a quiet gift, a gentle reminder of the vast and beautiful universe to which we all belong. This is the gift of the Earth's shadow. By turning us away from the brilliant, beautiful, but overwhelming light of our own star, it allows us to see this deeper, more subtle, and more ancient light. It opens a window onto the infinite, and in gazing through that window, we can find a peace that is as deep and as boundless as the universe itself. Let this cosmic peace be your blanket tonight. Let the ancient, silent light of the stars be the gentle nightlight that watches over you as you drift, ever more deeply, into your own quiet, peaceful, and well-deserved rest. We have been floating in the deep, silent ocean of the cosmos, allowing the ancient light of distant stars to wash over us, putting our own small worries into a vast and peaceful perspective. It is a place of profound tranquility, a reminder of the immense and timeless universe to which we belong. And now, let us gently draw our awareness back from that infinite expanse, back from the faint, pinprick embers of faraway galaxies, and turn our attention to a much closer, more intimate, and more familiar presence in our night sky. High above, there is another light, a light not of 1,000 tiny diamonds, but of a single, soft, silver pearl. This is the moon. The moon is the quiet companion of our night. While the stars seem fixed in their majestic patterns, the moon is a wanderer. It rises with a silent, stately grace. It journeys across the arc of the night sky, and it sets, just as the sun does, to make way for the coming day. It is a presence that feels personal. We can see its face, its seas of dark, ancient lava, It's craters that tell a story of a long and battered history. It feels less like a distant, abstract point of light and more like an old, familiar friend. Its light is different, too. It is not the sharp, brilliant light of the stars. It is a soft, silvery, and gentle glow. It does not pierce the darkness, but rather it seems to blend with it, to soften it. It is a light that does not demand attention, but offers a quiet sense of comfort. It illuminates the edges of the clouds with a soft, silver lining. It casts long, pale, and ghostly shadows on the ground. It turns the surface of a still lake into a pool of liquid moonlight. It is the world's nightlight, and here lies its most beautiful and reassuring secret. The moon, for all its luminous beauty, produces no light of its own. It is not a star. It is not a fire. It is a great, silent, and patient mirror. The soft, silvery light that the moon sends down to us. The light that has inspired poets and lovers for all of human history is the reflected light of our own sun. Think of this for a moment. As our side of the earth is turned away from the sun, resting in our own deep shadow, the sun has not ceased its constant, generous shining. And that light, that same warm, life-giving light of our day, travels across the vastness of space, touches the pale, dusty surface of the moon, and is then reflected back to us. The moonlight is second-hand sunlight. It is a gentle echo of the day's brilliance. It is a soft memory of the sun's warmth, sent back to us in the heart of our night. This understanding weaves a beautiful, unbroken thread between our day and our night. They are not two separate, opposing kingdoms. The night is not the absence of the sun's light, but simply a time when we receive that light in a different, more subtle and more gentle form. The moon acts as a bridge, a quiet reminder in the darkness that the great lighthouse of the sun is still shining, that its presence is still felt, even when we cannot see it directly. To look up at the moon is to see a soft, serene portrait of the sun. It is a message of continuity, a promise that the source of our warmth and life has not abandoned us. This can be a source of immense comfort. It makes the darkness feel less absolute, less empty. It fills the night with a familiar, friendly, and reassuring glow. And our moon is a dancer of a different kind. It does not spin on its own axis in the same way the Earth does, but it performs a slow, monthly dance around our planet. And in the course of this dance, its appearance in our sky changes. It waxes and it wanes. This is the beautiful, predictable cycle of the phases of the moon. Sometimes, it is a new moon, lost in the glare of the sun, its dark face turned towards us, its presence a quiet secret. Then, a few days later, it appears in the evening sky as the most delicate, slender sliver of a crescent, a silver smile hanging in the twilight. As the days pass, that smile grows, becoming a perfect half-moon, a semicircle of soft, chalky light. It continues to swell, becoming a lopsided, pregnant gibbous moon, until finally, it arrives at the peak of its journey, the full moon. It rises in the east just as the sun sets in the west, a great placid, silver disk, flooding the entire landscape with its gentle, ethereal light. It is a time when the night feels most alive, most magical. The world is bathed in a cool, otherworldly glow, and the darkness is held at bay by this brilliant, borrowed light. And then, just as gracefully, the moon begins its slow retreat. It wanes, night after night, shrinking back through the gibbous phase, back to a half moon. And then, finally, it becomes a delicate crescent once more, visible only in the moments just before dawn. A final fading smile before it disappears again into the light of the new day. This monthly rhythm, this slow, silent tide of light, is another one of the universe's great, reliable clocks. It is a cycle that has been repeated for billions of years, a rhythm as dependable as the turning of the earth itself. Our ancestors planted their crops and timed their festivals by this lunar calendar. The great tides of our oceans rise and fall in harmony with its gravitational pull. It is a rhythm that is woven into the very fabric of life on Earth. To feel this rhythm is to connect with another layer of cosmic peace. The gentle waxing and waning of the moon is a reminder that all things in life have their cycles. There are times of fullness, and there are times of quiet retreat. There are times of bright expression, and there are times of darkness and new beginnings. None is better than the other. All are part of a whole and healthy cycle. As you lie here, you can feel this gentle lunar rhythm within you. There may be parts of your life that are in a state of fullness and parts that are in a quiet, crescent phase. It is all right. It is all part of a natural flow. The moon gives us permission to not always be full, to not always be shining our brightest. It shows us that there is a grace and a beauty in every phase of the journey. Let the image of the moon, this great silent mirror, be a comfort to you now. It is the quiet guardian of our night, the steadfast companion to the earth's shadow. It is a bridge to the day, a soft reflection of a light that never truly leaves us. It is a model of graceful, cyclical change. It is the serene, peaceful face that looks down upon our resting world and upon you as you drift ever closer to the gentle, restorative tide of your own sleep. We have spent our journey together gazing outward, finding a deep and resonant peace in the grand, reliable rhythms of the cosmos. We have felt the silent, perfect pirouette of our own planet. We have found comfort in the steadfast, constant light of our sun, and we have been soothed by the gentle, silvered face of our ancient moon. We have seen how our world dances to a celestial music of immense and beautiful predictability. And now, a gentle question arises. A question that brings this vast cosmic story into the intimate space of our own being. How do we know the steps to this dance? How does your own body, in its soft, warm, and quiet wisdom, know the rhythm of the music? The answer is as beautiful as it is profound. We know the rhythm because it is written into us. The great 24-hour cycle of day and night is not just something we observe, it is a memory that we carry in every single cell of our bodies. It is an ancient clock, an engraved rhythm, an inheritance passed down through a nearly unbroken chain of life that stretches back for billions of years. Let us travel back in time, to the very dawn of life on this planet. Imagine the first, simplest organisms, floating in the warm, primordial oceans. They were little more than tiny, self-replicating bundles of chemistry. But even these simple ancestors faced the fundamental reality of our spinning world. The coming of the light and the coming of the dark. To survive and to thrive, they had to learn to anticipate this rhythm. For those that learned to harness the sun's energy through photosynthesis, it was wise to be ready for the light, to have their simple machinery prepared to receive the gift of photons. And it was wise to know when to rest, when to conserve energy, when the life-giving light was about to fade. For those that were prey, it was wise to know when the predators who hunted by sight would be active, and when the safety of darkness would provide a cloak of invisibility. Over countless generations, over eons of trial and error, life learned to keep time. The external rhythm of the planet's rotation became slowly, patiently, miraculously, engraved into the very chemistry of life itself. It became an internal clock, a biological timepiece that could keep a roughly 24-hour cycle, even in the absence of external cues. This is our circadian rhythm, and it is perhaps our most profound connection to the astronomical nature of our world. You carry this ancient clock within you. It is not located in one single place, but is a decentralized intelligence, a conversation happening between the cells of your body. At its heart, however, is a small cluster of cells in your brain that acts as the master timekeeper. Let us think of it as the quiet, humble conductor of your body's great orchestra, and every day, this conductor looks out at the world to set its watch. The primary signal it uses is light. when you open your eyes in the morning and light, especially the blue rich light of the morning sun, enters your pupils and touches your retina. A message is sent directly to this master clock. The message is simple. The sun is here, the dance begins. This daily signal of light is what synchronizes your internal clock with the great external clock of the spinning earth. It is the downbeat of the conductor's baton, ensuring that your personal orchestra is playing in perfect time with the grand symphony of the solar system. Once synchronized, your internal clock begins its quiet, daily work of directing the rhythms of your body. It influences your metabolism, your body temperature, your alertness, and, most importantly, for our journey tonight, your desire for sleep. As the day progresses and the earth continues its silent pirouette, the light that enters your eyes begins to change. The bright blue light of morning and midday gives way to the warmer, redder light of the late afternoon and evening, the very golden hour we explored in our first chapter. Your internal clock perceives this change. It notes the fading of the light, and it knows the time has come to prepare for the great turning into the earth's shadow. And so, it begins to send out its evening messengers. These are not thoughts you can hear, but gentle, like chemical whispers that travel through your bloodstream. One of these whispers tells your body to lower its core temperature by a degree or so, a subtle cooling that encourages rest. Another whisper tells your metabolism to slow down, to begin conserving energy rather than expending it. And then comes the most famous messenger of all, the hormone we call melatonin. Let us not think of it as a mere chemical, but as the hormone of twilight, the messenger of drowsiness. Its release is triggered by the dimming light, a signal from your inner conductor that it is time to prepare the stage for sleep. Melatonin is not a hammer that knocks you unconscious. It is far more gentle, far more poetic than that. It is the usher in a great theater who moves quietly through the aisles, dimming the house lights, letting the audience know that the performance is about to begin. It does not force you to sleep. It simply, gently, opens the door to sleep and invites you to walk through. The feeling of sleepiness that you feel now is not a malfunction. It is not a sign of weakness or a deficiency. It is the sound of your own, ancient and exquisitely wise internal orchestra playing its nightly lullaby. It is the accumulated wisdom of 4 billion years of life, whispering to you. It is time. The world is turning. It is safe to rest now. To feel tired at the end of the day is to be in perfect harmony with the planet. It is to be living in accordance with your deepest, most fundamental nature. In our modern world, we are often encouraged to fight this feeling, to push through it with caffeine and bright lights, to treat sleepiness as an inconvenience. But this is like a ship's captain trying to fight the turning of the tides. It is a struggle against a force that is far older, wiser, and more powerful than our own fleeting desires. Tonight, you can choose to not fight. You can choose to listen to this ancient wisdom. You can feel the gentle pull of sleepiness as a validation, a sign that your body is healthy, intelligent, and perfectly attuned to the world around it. You are a child of this spinning planet, and your body knows the rhythm of the dance by heart. So as you lie here, let this understanding bring you a sense of deep permission. You are allowed to be tired. In fact, your tiredness is a beautiful expression of your connection to the cosmos. It is your personal, biological resonance with the great pirouette of the earth. Let go of any guilt or frustration you may have about feeling sleepy, and instead, feel it as a great, gentle, and loving hand, guiding you toward the rest that you need and deserve. You are simply answering a call that is as old as life itself, a call to turn inward, to enter the quiet shadow, and to find your peace. We have arrived at a place of deep, instinctual peace. We have learned to feel our own sleepiness not as a weakness, but as a form of wisdom, an ancient cellular memory that aligns us with the great, silent turning of our planet. We have given ourselves permission to be tired, to heed the gentle internal call to rest that has been passed down through eons of life. And as we settle into this feeling of acceptance, a gentle question may arise. Why is this rhythm so deeply engraved in us? What is the purpose of this daily surrender to the dark? What is the gift that the night truly offers? The darkness, the night, the state of sleep. These are not simply an absence of the day. Sleep is not a void. It is not lost time. It is a journey into a different state of being, a state that is as essential, as active, and as productive as any moment of our waking lives. The night is the time of quiet, vital, and miraculous work. It is the time of healing, of mending, and of renewal. Let us first consider our own bodies. During the day, our bodies are focused on external activity, on moving, on thinking, on speaking, on doing. This is a time of expenditure, of energy being sent outward. But when we finally lie down to rest, when our conscious mind begins to let go, a different team of workers comes on duty. Imagine a great bustling workshop. During the day, the floor is filled with loud, energetic artisans building, creating, and sending their wares out into the world. But when the day shift ends and the lights are dimmed, a new crew arrives. A quiet, diligent, and meticulous maintenance crew. This is what happens in your body during sleep. While you rest, this silent crew gets to work. They move through the great workshop of your physical being, sweeping the cellular floors, clearing away the metabolic debris that has accumulated during a day of hard work. They are the menders, finding the tiny, microscopic tears in your muscles and tissues and patiently stitching them back together. They are the restorers, replenishing the stores of energy that you have spent. It is a time of profound physical housekeeping, a deep cellular cleansing and repair that can only happen when the busy, daytime machinery has been stilled. And a similar, equally vital process is happening within the quiet workshop of your mind. During the day, your mind is like the busy front desk of a great library. New information, new experiences, new feelings, new thoughts. They are all arriving constantly. A jumble of books being piled high on the desk. There is no time to sort them, to catalog them, to find their proper place on the shelves. But when you fall asleep, the daytime librarian goes home, and a new librarian comes on duty. The night librarian? This wise, patient librarian of the mind begins the essential work of sorting through the day's acquisitions. They pick up each book, each memory, each experience, some of them, the important ones. The lessons learned, the joyful moments, are carefully cataloged and placed in the vast, quiet stacks of your long-term memory, where they will enrich you for years to come. Other books, the trivial details, the fleeting anxieties, the scraps of unimportant information are deemed unnecessary, and they are sent to be recycled, their substance broken down to make way for new learning. This nightly sorting process is what we call memory consolidation. It is how we learn, it is how we grow. Without this quiet, nightly librarian, our minds would simply be a chaotic, unusable pile of experiences. Sleep is the act of turning chaos into wisdom, and there is another cleansing process at work. Recent science has discovered a beautiful, hidden system within the brain. Let us think of it as a gentle, nightly tide. When you are awake, your brain cells are swollen and active, and there is little space between them. But when you enter deep sleep, the brain cells themselves seem to shrink slightly, opening up channels between them. And through these channels, a clear, clean fluid flows, a gentle tide that washes through the intricate pathways of your brain, flushing away the toxic byproducts of a day's thinking, leaving your mind clean, clear, and refreshed for the morning. To sleep is to have your mind, quite literally, washed clean. This necessity for a period of darkness and rest is not unique to us. It is a universal law of life on this spinning planet. Look at the world of plants. During the day, they are engaged in the energetic work of photosynthesis, using sunlight to create their food. But at night, in the dark, They switch to a different mode. They perform a different kind of respiration. They focus on growing, on repairing, on consolidating their resources. A plant that is kept under a bright light 24 hours a day will not thrive. It will become stressed and sick. It needs the darkness. It needs the rest. It knows the rhythm. And think of the animal kingdom. The night is not an empty time. It is simply a changing of the guard. The diurnal creatures, the squirrels, the songbirds, the butterflies, all find their safe places to rest, their own version of a warm, quiet bed. And as they sleep, the nocturnal creatures emerge. The owl, with its silent wings and wide, knowing eyes, begins its hunt. The moth, a creature of the twilight, flutters among the night-blooming flowers. The raccoon forages along the creek bed. The night is its own world, with its own inhabitants, its own activities, its own kind of vibrant life. The darkness is not an absence. It is a different presence. To understand the necessity of darkness is to let go of any fear or resistance we may have to it. It is not an enemy. It is a partner. It is the other. Equally important, half of the great cycle of life. The day is for doing, the night is for being. The day is for spending, the night is for renewing. The day is for gathering, the night is for sorting. Both are essential, both are beautiful, both are a gift. As you lie here, you can feel a sense of deep purpose in your own rest. Your sleep is not an act of idleness. It is an act of profound and vital importance. By simply letting go, by surrendering to the gentle pull of your own engraved, ancient rhythm, you are allowing this quiet, miraculous work to begin. You are allowing your body to heal, your mind to learn, your spirit to be cleansed. Your only job right now is to be still, to be quiet, and to provide the safe and peaceful darkness that this good work requires. Rest, then. In this understanding, you are participating in a sacred and necessary ritual, a ritual that is being performed by almost every living thing around you. You are joining the great collective quiet of the planet's sleeping hemisphere. And in this shared stillness, there is a deep and powerful sense of peace and of purpose. We have come to a place of deep and purposeful understanding. We have embraced our own sleepiness as an ancient, cellular wisdom, and we have reframed the night not as an absence, but as a time of profound and necessary healing, a quiet, sacred space for restoration and renewal. We have made our peace with the darkness. And now, as our journey begins to spiral back toward its conclusion, let us revisit the great, silent pirouette of our planet and look with new eyes at the very boundary between day and night. What is the nature of this line that we cross twice each day? Is it a hard, sharp edge? A sudden, unforgiving switch from light to dark? Or is it something far more gentle, far more kind? Let us once again imagine ourselves floating in the quiet of space, watching our beautiful blue and white home as it turns. From this vantage point, we can see the division between the sunlit hemisphere and the dark hemisphere clearly. This line is sometimes called the Terminator, a name that sounds harsh and final, but let us give it a softer, more truthful name. Let us call it the soft border, the line of fading or the zone of twilight. For what we see from space is not a sharp, black and white division. It is a soft, blurry, and exquisitely beautiful gradient. It is a wide, smoky ribbon of transition, a zone where the brilliant clarity of day gently, gradually, and gracefully dissolves into the star-dusted velvet of the night. This soft border is a wave, a silent, slow-moving wave of twilight that is constantly sweeping across the face of our world. It moves with a steady, unhurried, and majestic pace. Watch it now, in your mind's eye. See this gentle wave of dusk as it begins its journey across a great ocean. It silently moves over the vast blue waters, the whitecaps of the waves blushing pink and orange as the wave passes over them. It reaches the shore of a continent and continues its silent sweep, moving over coastal plains, great deserts, and dense green forests. It climbs the rugged slopes of mountain ranges, bathing their snowy peaks in a final, alpine glow, and then it slides silently down the other side. It moves over bustling cities, the first city lights beginning to twinkle on within its dusky embrace, and it moves over quiet, sleeping farmlands. It is an utterly democratic and impartial wave of peace, touching every part of the world in its turn, offering the same gentle transition to all. The existence of this soft border is a gift from our planet's atmosphere and from the nature of our sun. The reason the line is not sharp is because our sky itself knows how to bend the light. As the sun dips below our physical horizon, its light still travels through the upper layers of the atmosphere above us, and the molecules of the air catch this light and scatter it, bending it down towards us on the surface. And so, even after the sun has disappeared from our view, its light still lingers, our sky remains blue, then fades to orange and pink, because it is still borrowing the light from a sun we can no longer see. It is a generous and beautiful loan of light, a way of ensuring the day does not abandon us abruptly. The border is also soft because our sun, as we know, is not a tiny point source, but a great, magnificent disk of light. And just as the shadow of a large lamp is softer and fuzzier at the edges than the shadow of a tiny candle flame, the shadow of our sun is soft at its edges. This creates the gentle, transitional zone of the penumbra, the area of partial shadow that we experience as twilight. The very physics of our solar system are conspiring to make this daily transition as gentle as possible. The experience of sunset, which we shared in our first chapter, is the experience of being inside this moving wave. The soft border is hundreds of miles wide. When it arrives at your location, it does not hit you like a wall. It begins with the first subtle shift in the color of the afternoon light. And for the next hour or more, you are carried gently through its soft, colorful, and ever-deepening layers. You travel through the golden hour, then the sunset itself, then the afterglow of twilight, before you are finally delivered into the full, peaceful darkness of the night. The journey is always gradual. It is always soft. And the same is true for the dawn. The other side of the planet is at this very moment, experiencing the same soft border, but as a wave of light. The darkness is not shattered by the sudden appearance of the sun. It is gently, gradually diluted. The sky begins to blush with the first faint hints of morning, a slow, beautiful, and peaceful preparation for the coming of the day. To understand this is to understand that in the planet's great, fundamental rhythm, there are no sudden shocks. There are no hard edges. There is only a smooth, seamless, and perpetual flow from one state to another. The world does not jump from day to night. It fades. It dissolves. It transitions with the slow, certain grace of a great symphony, moving from a bright, loud movement to a soft, quiet adagio. This can be a profound comfort as we prepare for sleep. The journey into sleep can sometimes feel like a frightening leap off a cliff, a sudden plunge into unconsciousness. But the soft border of our planet teaches us that this is not the true nature of things. The transition can be as gentle as the setting of the sun. You can imagine yourself, right now, entering your own soft border. The state of full, alert wakefulness is the bright day. The state of deep, dreamless sleep is the dark night. And the process of falling asleep is your own personal twilight. It is a zone of transition, a gentle gradient. You do not need to leap across it. You can allow yourself to drift through it. You can feel your thoughts, which were bright and clear like the midday sun, begin to lose their sharpness. They become softer, more dreamlike, like the shapes of trees in the twilight. You can feel the energy in your body, which was active and warm, begin to cool and to quiet down, like the air after the sun has set. You are not shutting down, you are fading gracefully. Let your own breath be the slow, silent wave that carries you through this gentle zone. With each exhalation, you can imagine this soft, dusky wave washing over you, dissolving a little more of the day's clarity, inviting a little more of the night's peaceful quiet. There is no hurry. The wave is wide. You have all the time you need. You can simply float on its current and trust that it is carrying you to a safe and peaceful shore. The earth, in its great wisdom, has designed the shift from day to night to be a process of immense and beautiful gentleness. And you, as a child of this earth, have the same capacity for gentle transition within you. You can let go of the day, not with a jolt, but with a slow, soft, and peaceful fade. You can allow the soft border of sleep to sweep over you and to deliver you, in its own perfect time, to the deep, quiet, and starry peace of the night. Here we are, at the quiet, gentle end of our long and wandering journey. We have traveled together from the soft, fading light of a single sunset to the vast, silent turning of our entire world. We have stood in the constant, reassuring glow of our own personal star, and we have found a deep and familiar comfort in the great, cool shadow that our planet casts into space. We have floated in the ancient, starry light of the deep cosmos and felt the gentle and reflected reassurance of our companion, the moon. We have listened to the engraved, cellular rhythm within our own bodies, and we have come to understand the deep, restorative purpose of the darkness. We have learned that the border between our day and our night is not a sharp cliff, but a soft, gentle, and ever-moving wave. And now our great spiral journey comes home, turning inward to its final, most personal, and most peaceful revelation. The great 24-hour pirouette of the Earth, that silent, majestic, and unwavering dance that defines our world, is not just a story about a planet. It is also, in its most intimate sense, your story. Your own life, your own consciousness, follows the same beautiful, fundamental rhythm. You, too, perform a personal rotation every single day. Your waking life is your time in the sun. When you awaken in the morning, you are, in essence, turning your face toward the light of consciousness. Your mind becomes bright, clear, and active. You engage with the world. You think, you work, you love, you learn. You are living on the sunlit hemisphere of your own being, a time of warmth, of energy, of doing. And as the day progresses, you gather experiences, you expend energy, and you slowly, naturally, Mahai, prepare for the great turning. The feeling of tiredness that has been growing within you is the beautiful, intelligent signal that it is time to begin your own personal sunset. It is time to turn away from the bright, external world and move towards a different kind of light. And so, the act of falling asleep, the gentle surrender that you are allowing to happen right now, is your own personal rotation. It is a voluntary, graceful, and deeply wise turning away from the light of your waking, conscious mind. You are not being extinguished. You are not disappearing. You are simply choosing to turn, to allow the horizon of your awareness to rise up and gently eclipse the sun of your day-to-day thoughts. And what happens when you turn away from this outer sun? You are carried, just as the earth is, into your own shadow. A shadow that is not dark and empty, but is safe and familiar, and full of a different kind of wonder. To fall asleep is to enter the great, quiet shadow of your own self. A place of rest, a place of shelter, a place of deep, restorative peace. And just as the earth, in turning from the sun, reveals the vast and starry expanse of the deeper sky, so too does your mind, in turning from the world, reveal its own inner cosmos. The state of sleep and the world of dreams is your own personal night sky. The darkness of your closed eyes is not a void. It is the canvas upon which a different kind of light can be seen. The memories of your day, the feelings of your heart, the deep, ancient symbols of your subconscious. These are your stars. They may arrange themselves into strange and beautiful constellations we call dreams. Narratives and images that flicker with a faint, ethereal light. They may not have the bright, logical clarity of your daytime thoughts, but they have their own kind of wisdom, their own kind of beauty. They are the ancient light of your own inner history, shining in the quiet of your mind. And perhaps the moon, that gentle mirror, is the presence of your own deep awareness, the part of you that quietly, calmly, watches over your dreams without judgment. It is the serene, knowing part of you that reflects the light of your experiences back to you in soft, symbolic, and often mysterious ways. To fall asleep, then, is to become a willing participant in the most fundamental dance of the universe. It is to consciously align your own personal rhythm with the great planetary rhythm that has cradled life for billions of years. Your breath in and out is the gentle turning motion. Your heartbeat is the steady, quiet cadence of the dance. There is no separation between your own small, personal act of rest and the great, cosmic cycle of day and night. They are one and the same. To sleep is to be in perfect harmony with the world. Let this thought be the final, soft pillow for your mind. Your rest is not an escape from the world. It is a deeper entry into its most essential truth. It is an act of trust, of faith in the cycles that govern all things. You are trusting that the sun of your consciousness, like the great sun in the sky, is not gone but is simply waiting for you to complete your turn. You are trusting that this journey into the quiet dark is a journey of renewal, of healing, of preparing the fertile ground for a new day. You do not need to do anything now. The journey is done. The story has been told. All that is left is the gentle, inevitable, and peaceful turning. Feel yourself now as a small, beloved planet, performing your own perfect, sleepy pirouette. Feel the horizon of your awareness slowly, gently rising. Feel the brilliant light of your active thoughts beginning to soften, to fade, to be replaced by the soft, colored glow of your own personal twilight. Feel the gentle, gradual coolness and quiet spread through the landscape of your body. You are turning effortlessly, gracefully. You are being carried into the deep, safe, and familiar shadow of your own being. Let go of the shore of the day. Trust the current that is carrying you. It is a current of profound peace, a rhythm that has rocked the world to sleep every night for all of time. And it is rocking you now. Let it hold you. Let it soothe you. Let it carry you into the deep, quiet, and starry peace of your own restorative, healing, and well-deserved rest. Drift now. Turn and sleep.